Peoples, what is going on? I am Finesse, and we are here in the Finesse studio because today Indian Motorcycle has released the 2026 lineup. So I did not do a post or anything saying that I was going to do this video, simply because I did not know if I was going to, basically, if I didn't know if I was going to have time to do it or not. So I didn't want to schedule this and not be able to do it. But at any rate, everybody's going to be able to go back and look at this video. I'll have it posted on the page. But I did have some time, so I wanted to go through here. And not only am I going to go through it, but we are going to go through it live. So I'm not going to go super in depth through every single thing, but I am going to hit some of the highlights that I noticed, some of the differences that I noticed with the new lineup. And not only that, I do have a press kit that I have here available to me that I'll be showing you guys as well. All right. Now that I got that out of the way, like I said, this was unannounced. So I'm going to slow down here a little bit before I get started to see if we get anybody in here to join in on the broadcast. But while we're doing that, before this release even came out, I was talking with Mrs. Finesse, as well as some other people that I don't want to mention. But it was said to me, the way Indian Motorcycle has their lineup right now, to some people it could be confusing. To others, it seems like there's just a whole bunch of options. And since we are going to be transitioning Indian Motorcycle to Carolwood, I'm curious as to how that's going to go. And I'm thinking they're possibly, or I was thinking if it's a good idea, if they were to say, I don't know, slim down the models a little bit. Now, looking at the Indian Motorcycle website that I have here on the screen, it looks like they did do some streamlining. But the most popular bike that Indian Motorcycle sells is the Scout. So that makes sense that the Scout is going to have a lot more different options, a lot different versions, things of that nature. But I think, or I agree with some of the people that I was talking to, as far as if they were to slim down that line to where it's just the Scout 60 and the Scout Rogue 60 and the Scout Rogue. I think those four models, oh yeah, in addition to the 101. So you'd have 5 different models, right? And then from there, you'd have all the options that they have. There's over 100 options for that bike. But you're not confusing yourself with all the different models, right? And, the factory could just push out the Scouts as they are, and then the customers can come up and pick and choose packages or just piece them together like, people normally do. So I think that would be a better option as far as the Scout goes. All right. Bike Life Commando, what's going on, man? Got the Chieftain 112. Feels like there's some overlap between the Scouts and the Chiefs. Yeah. I talked about that as well with the Scouts and the Chiefs. So shout out to Slim 56. What's up, Riding and Wrenching? Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, I agree with Slim on this. Once you get the Scout up to a certain price, it gets really close to the Chief, okay? And then you're looking at, okay, well, do I get the Scout or do I get the Chief? So again, like I said, I think if they streamline the models a bit, that'll alleviate some of that confusion. And basically, you'll just leave up your decision as the consumer with what parts you want to put on the bike as packages or, add-ons and accessories, things like that. I think that would be a much better option, okay? All right. So Bike Life Commando, I just met him not too long ago at the Indian Motorcycle dealership. It was great meeting you. He has a YouTube channel as well. I believe it's Bike Life Commando. And of course, you got Riding and Wrenching out here. He is a premier member, right along with Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Robert Simmons, he is also a premier member. So big shout out to those guys. If you have not checked out their channels, which more than likely you have, definitely get over there and check those guys out. We got Buck Brown. What's going on, man? What's going on? All right. So like I said, people are going to be able to review this, replay this. I'll have this posted. So we're just going to jump right into it. All right. So first up, when you come up, you're going to see the Indian Motorcycle splash page, and it starts off at the cruisers. So let me move this out of the way. You don't need to see that. All right. So it starts off at the cruisers, and you have the brand new Scout RT. All right. When I first saw this, I thought the front wheel was a little bit bigger, but I think that's just an optical illusion. But then you've got the Scout 101, which has a new color scheme with a subdued black. That looks really good. Then you have the Scout Bobber, you have the Scout Classic, and then you have the Super Scout. All right. So, like I was saying just a minute ago, I think if they were to slim that down just a little bit and give you a few less options, let it be 5 options, and then you go and tailor the bike how you want it after that. I think that would be a good idea. But the Sport Scout RT is going to be the star of the show, so we're just going to take a look at that. That is going to be. Oh, here we go. You have your trims here. All right. So look. All right. Full disclosure, man. I have not looked at this yet. I wanted to get this information out, so we're exploring this together. So if I'm stumbling a little bit, that is all that is. All right. But like I said, I've got a little cheat sheet here to help me out. But the Scout is going to start at $13,499. The Sport Scout, that is. And then you've got your options here. You've got the Sport Scout limited with the tech, and you get your color options. And then, of course, you got the Sport Scout RT, which is the new bike. So you're going to have the popular black smoke. You have the sunset red metallic. And then you also have this chalk color. So this chalk color is new for 2026. I want to say it's kind of like that Nardo gray that a lot of the cars were doing where, it kind of looks like the shiny primer or whatever. Interesting color. Sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks green. But at any rate, good looking bike. I mean, I like the Scout Rogue or Sport Scout now that they call it. I've always liked that. They've got a new wheel design on there. And now you have saddlebags, right? So if you're going somewhere, I know a lot of people actually travel distance on these bikes. I can't. But now you have that option to have those saddlebags on there. And I mean, it's really nice to have those kinds of options. And like I said, you've got like a plethora of bikes and options and things to go through. So when I'm looking at the press kit here, oh my goodness, I tell you what, it's just rookie mistakes, man, rookie mistakes. All right. Anyways, so looking at the press kit here, you're gonna get new paint. There's also some new accessories. I'll do a supplemental video to this to get all the new accessories that are out there. But at this price point, you're at 13 for the Sport Scout. What is it going to be for the regular Scout? What's the entry level? Because it used to be, so it's still $9,999. So that hasn't changed. So you're going to be able to get into Indian Motorcycle at a pretty good price. Just jumping in if you're new to the lineup. All right. Let's see. I would like to see a Power Plus version of the Springfield. Power Plus version of the Springfield. I don't know if that's going to happen simply because the way they market the Springfield is that it's a retro looking bike, a retro styled bike with modern touches. And I don't know if the engine is going to be one of those modern things that they touch. Let's see. Let's go some more of these comments. Hey, Stephanie from Colorado. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining. That red, that is a nice red. However, I think the real star of the Scout lineup is going to be the 101. That 101 Scout is crazy looking. I mean, it's in that black. Yeah, this right here. That right there, that 101 Scout, man, that's a handsome looking bike. The red, they used to have it in white, but that black with the gold, come on, man, come on. Tell me that don't look good. All right, let's get to some of these comments here. Riding and Wrenching is telling you hit that thumbs up. Please do. That helps out the channel so much. Thank you guys for joining. The black crystal with championship gold accent on the 112. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Yes, that does look nice. I agree. I was just going to say, it looks like a little rider. ST Sportster had a baby. Right on. You're riding with us this weekend. I don't know about riding this weekend. I know I am going to be around. The red paint. I know Q, you're all about that red paint. But I'm real partial to the black. So, but anyways, keep moving on. So we got the Scout. The newest thing with the Scout as far as the models go is going to be that Scout, the Sport Scout RT. Okay. You should do more of these. I know. Look, I should do more of these, but I got to get my priorities right. I'm flipping back and forth. Hey, but we gonna make it happen. All right. So, anyways, back to what I was saying with the lineup. Let's go back here to the main page. All right. So now, like I said, they streamlined the options on the website here. So now you just have 4 options. You've got your cruiser, which is going to be your Scouts and your Chiefs. So we got to look at the Chiefs. Of course, you got the popular Sport Chief, and that has some new colors associated with it. And I think the rest of these are going to be the same. They're going to be having refreshed colors. That's a new color for the Chief Dark Horse. And then you got that. So one of the great things about the Sport Chief is that you do have an option to add some audio. There's a Bluetooth speaker that sits behind this fairing right here. I'm sure there's an image of it. Yeah, this speaker right here. To be as small as it is, that speaker actually puts out pretty good sound. I had the chance to listen to it a few times, and when you're riding, say you're doing 40, 50 miles an hour, you can hear it. It's not a problem. And that's because you're going to be wearing a full face helmet. But you figure once you get up to speed, highway speeds and things like that, you probably won't be able to hear it as much. But that's really not what this bike is for. The Sport Chief is all about carving those corners, having fun on the back roads. So in those types of situations, you're going to be pretty happy with that audio, especially if it's either have that or have none. Okay. And the Sport Chief RT is hitting at 22.5, and you got 4 different color options. Here, let me make this bigger for you guys. You guys can't see that. All right. So you've got, of course, the black smoke, which I think Indian Motorcycle does flat black the best out of just about anybody. I haven't seen a flat black bike that looks better than an Indian Motorcycle. But hey, that's neither here nor there. All right, so next you have the heavy metal. That heavy metal looks really, really good. I think because for 25 they had these on the Challengers and the Pursuits. But they had like a graphic on it. I wasn't really a big fan of that graphic, but that color is a very nice color. Then you have the Storm Blue. That used to be a color that came on the Challengers. So it's nice to see, having something else with that color, because that's a really nice color. And then you have this vibrant gold metallic. Now, I myself am not the type of person that likes yellow. But it's not like a bright yellow. It's more, it's a vibrant gold metallic. So it's got that. I'm sure it's going to have some wonderful flakes in it. And once you get it out in the sun, it's going to give it a really unique look. I'm really looking forward to seeing those. So tomorrow afternoon, I am going to be going by the dealership, hopefully if I get time, to see if they have any new models here at my local dealership. All right. So very nice job there. All right. Now, when we're looking at the baggers, all right, you're going to come up to this first page, and it shows you this Chieftain with this black and gold color scheme. My goodness. this particular color scheme is the star of the show, in my opinion. There's not going to be another color scheme on any of these bikes that are going to look better than this, in my opinion. Okay. Now, with the Chieftain Power Plus, you do get the choice between a 108 and a 112. And of course, you get a Dark Horse and a Limited. They have gone away from, say, the quote unquote base versions of the bike. So now, you're just, I mean, really and truly, the base version of the bike was just kind of like a mixture of the Dark Horse and the Limited. You'd have like a few pieces that kind of mix matched, and it looked, I mean, like it was okay. But I think the majority of people that bought these bikes really wanted either the Dark Horse or the Limited. Of course, you do have those few that want the base version so they can do, crazy things to it. But for the most part, at least from what I've seen, it was all about the Dark Horse or the Limited. So I can understand why they kind of went away from having that base version. All right. So with the 108, you're getting 3 colors: the Black Smoke, Sunset Red, which is a flat red. Then you also get this deep blue metallic. Very interesting color. Indian Motorcycle has a few different blues, a few different hues of blue that they're going to be using. This is one of them. I believe there's 2 others. Well, we saw the Storm Blue on the Sport Chief, but this is a bit darker blue, but not the darkest blue that they use. All right. And then when you come up to the 112, you're going to have 5 color options there for the Dark Horse. You've got that flat red again. You've got the deep blue metallic. You have this chalk again with some black metallic. So I'm really interested to see what that looks like. And then, of course, like I said, this black crystal, black metallic, and championship gold accent. That is just a gorgeous, gorgeous looking bike. All right. And then, of course, you got the option to have your power band. All right. So we're going to head over to the comments there. I'm going to answer a few of these before we continue. Let's see. Love the RT. Great ride. I rode one. I rode the Sport Chief when it first came out. It is a great ride. Red looks nice. We already did that. Lowrider ST did that one. Red paint. All right. All right. Black and gold does look sweet for an Indian. It looks sweet for just about anything. I don't know anything that doesn't look good in black and gold. I mean, having owned a Lowrider ST and the Chief is a better ride. Okay. All right. I can see that. Again, I say this all the time. Straight out of the box, Indian Motorcycle is going to be hard to beat from anything. It's nice blue. Love that blue metallic. Will that be on the Pursuit? So the Pursuit does have a blue, which we are going to get into here in a second. Let's go here. I'm going to go back to the page, and then we are going to go, hello. Yeah. All right, everybody. So just so you know that I'm not going crazy, Mrs. Finesse is here. She is bringing dinner. So we're just going to set that over there. You can put it in the microwave. That'd be fine. I know. I got everything setting for all right. So she told me no. All right. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Go. All right. What did I say? We were going to be at the Challenger next. All right. So looking at the Indian Challenger, let me make a screen big for you. Look at that. My goodness. They got to have a bigger picture. Yeah, look at that. Come on, man. That is just a gorgeous looking bike. We're just going to go right to it. It's going to be in the 112 variant, and you're going to have that gold. So it's a black crystal with black metallic and championship gold accents. That is, I almost wish, goodness. I mean, after looking at that, I almost wish I probably would have waited a year to see that come out, because that right there is absolutely stunning. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous bike. Oh my goodness. But anyways, of course you got your 108 and your 112, and just like the Chieftain, there is no base version of this bike. So you're either going to have a dark horse or a limited. All right. Gone now is the Indian Challenger. All right. So it's either going to be a dark horse or a limited, which again, I think is a good thing. Bikes, bourbon, and barbecue. I need that in my life. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, as soon as I seen it, I knew this is probably going to be the hardest color to get, or it's going to be the most popular color that you see out on the road. So it's either going to be good or bad. But I tell you what, if you find a dealership that has this color, I would go ahead and get it. All right. The other colors that you're going to be able to get is going to be that chalk. You're going to have that deep blue, and then you have the sunset red. All right, that flat smoke. Those are in your standard colors. It's going to be the same for the power band. For the limited, just for like I guess you want to call that the base version, the limited. You're going to get the black metallic, the maroon. It's a crimson. It's a little bit darker than the maroon metallic. I'm sorry. So you guys got to let me know. I'm not blowing the screen up for you guys. You guys got to be able to see this. But it's a crimson, which is a little bit darker than the maroon metallic. I think this looks a little bit better. However, I'm just nitpicking here. The Indian Motorcycle logo, they probably should have changed the color on that to something else. Maybe made it sparkly silver or something, or flakes in it or something. I don't know. But it looks a little out of place looking at the rest of the bike. That's just me. And then you have the Nara Bronze Metallic. So this is like a sand looking color. I have not seen this color. This is a new color. Very interesting. Now the Smoky Mountain Quartz was a darker version of this. The Smoky Mountain Quartz looked like a root beer. That's what I called it. It's like a root beer or the pork and beans. But this here is more of like a sand color. So I'm really interested to see how that looks in person. Now, as far as I know, none of the specs have changed for these bikes. The 108 is still 122 horsepower. The 112 is still 126 horsepower. And you're just going to find refinements in these things. And like I was touching on earlier, with Indian Motorcycle now selling the majority shares to Carolwood, I wouldn't have expected that they were planning on doing anything major with this lineup anyways, because, there's going to be that transition phase. So just like previous years, these were just more or less updates and color changes and things like that. All right. So we're going to look at this here. Are you getting another bike? No. No, I'm not getting another bike. And let's see. Julian says, oh no, yeah, no. Okay. Yeah. Julian was asking me if I was going to trade my Challenger, and I'm not. And then, Callow Foodie says, why don't the levers for the Dark Horse come in black? I don't. The short answer is I don't know. Now the elites get the black levers, but once I get over to the elites, we're going to talk about that too, because I got some thoughts and things on that as well. But we're going to go back here to this lineup again. We did the Chieftain and the Challenger, and now we're going to get to the Springfield. So the Springfield has been one of my favorite bikes, and it was almost going to be the first Indian motorcycle that I bought, because I love the way this bike looks. I like the way it rides. I mean, it just feels good. It gives you that nostalgic feeling, like I was talking about earlier. But you still have two different models of the Springfield. You have the Springfield and the Springfield Dark Horse. So let's look at the Springfield first. Okay. Now, at first glance, let me get this up for you guys. At first glance, it doesn't look as if anything has changed. However, if you look here at the engine, it says 116 cubic inch. That is new for 2026. Prior to now, it was just the 111, and you couldn't get it in the 116. You'd have to get like a big bore kit. Okay. But gone now is the Thunderstroke 111. I have not seen that in any of these models that I've been looking through. And you're now just getting the 116, which I think is a fantastic idea. That's what I've always said about the classic Springfield, that if it had a 116, I would probably get that and then kind of mod it from there. Get a big chrome wheel on the front, and do some other things with it as well. So That's making choices hard for me right now because apparently the Springfield comes with the 116 now. All right, so that is good. And in true Springfield fashion, you're only going to get two colors. You get that red or the sunset red metallic, and then the silver quartz, or you get the Nara bronze and the black smoke. So you're getting the black and tan, or this red and cream if you want to go like old school with it. Good looking bike. I really like these bikes. They feel good when you ride it. I know Riding and Wrenching rode a Springfield at demo day just this past week or this past weekend. And the first thing he said to me when he got off it, or actually he was still on the bike, the first thing he said is, "Man, it's smooth." I was like, "Yeah, buddy, man. Hey, welcome to Indian Motorcycle." All right. Let's see. I thought you was getting a Springfield. More than likely, I will be getting a Springfield. I just don't know when. Are you changing your name since they don't make the Challenger anymore? No, they make. What are you talking about? It's a Challenger Dark Horse or the Challenger Limited. But that was not the reasoning for my name, as I often tell people. But no, not changing my name. Yep, butter smooth. You're right, man. You're right. All right, now. We're going to go back to the Springfield Dark Horse, which is the bike that was really contemplating because this bike in this configuration, in this color, is just absolutely amazing. You've got that swept back front fender. You got the high bars already, and they brought back the ghost white metallic smoke. So this being the metallic smoke, it's going to have a little bit of flake in it, even though it's a flat paint. So that's going to look really, really good. And the previous bikes were in that white, and a lot of people liked it before they went to the green. So if history tells us anything, Indian Motorcycle is kind of doing a cycle when it comes to the colors on the Springfield, because we don't get a lot of options with that. Usually it's just two colors. And that's it, right? And then you get the other accessories and things that you can get on the cruiser lineup. But I think this is a really good bike. I think it's a very good riding bike. I just think that they should do a little bit more with it. All right. Give us the option to have that 4-inch ride command in the gauge down there. Because you can, let's see if they got an image of it. Yeah. Right here, you've got the speedo and all that. If you just put in the 4-inch ride command right there, and then we add the saddlebag speakers, and you can just Bluetooth that to it or something, man, I think for the people that really enjoy that bike, it's just going to give them a little more options as to what they want to do with it. It's just one of those things. I think if people are asking for it, I think they might start leaning towards that way. Maybe not. Like I said, the Springfield doesn't get too much attention, just because it's the formula that they're using for this bike and the purpose of this bike, cruising and not necessarily traveling. I think it's a very good platform for what it is. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I really do like it, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be my next bike. If it's not, it's going to be the classic one. But anyway, before I get too far off, because I'll keep going, man. I'll keep going. But yeah, so there was a few more comments that came up. It says they still need to make the Challenger, not the base model. Oh yeah, they make the Challenger, just not the base model. I need to ride that Springfield next. It looks awesome, man. I thought you'd have got on it at the demo day. They didn't have a Dark Horse there. They had, like I said, they had the 111. The classic version or the Springfield. So this time around, they didn't have the Dark Horse. Springfield Dark Horse looks like Batman's bike. Yeah, for sure. I've seen some that were really, really nice. You can do some interesting things. Our Indian Adventures did a 2,000-mile trip last month on the Springfield, and it rode great. I would imagine so. And the crazy thing is that the bike is set up in, the old style with the air shock in the rear. The air for your preload. And it rides that smooth. And, I mean, it is a really good riding bike. It's just whatever Indian Motorcycle did with the geometry of that bike, they did a fantastic job with it because it rides really smooth. All right, did we do the Chieftain? We did the Chieftain, right, chat? We went over the Chieftain. I was supposed to be writing this down. I got a notebook around here somewhere, but I didn't write it down. I think we did the Chieftain. Okay, so we're gonna head over to the touring now. For the touring models, right? You are getting the Roadmaster and you are getting the Pursuit. Okay, there's only one version of the Roadmaster, and that's the Power Plus. And then, of course, you've got the Pursuit. Okay, so they have slimmed down the models a bit. All right, they've okay. Appreciate it, everybody. So they did slim down the models a bit to where you're getting less choices on the bigger bikes. That's good in my opinion. I think that's really good. Now we're gonna look at this Roadmaster. I can tell you right now, this blue is hitting. Okay, that blue is getting busy. All right, so you got the Roadmaster Power Plus, and oh no, look at that, the Roadmaster Dark Horse. They just slimmed it down in the main options there, so you still get the Thunderstroke version of them. I told you guys, man. We're looking at this at the same time. I didn't go through this. All right, and then you've got your classic version. Some people don't like the fairing on there. I'm kind of on the fence. I like this front fender, and I like the saddlebags, though. Those look really nice. The trunk, I mean, it's okay. It could probably use a little love. Then, of course, you got the Roadmaster Elite, but we're not there yet. So with these, on the 108s, you're going to get these three options. You've got that heavy metal, which looks really good. That's a really good looking color. And then you got the maroon metallic. All right. So the other color, the crimson metallic or the crimson, was a little bit darker than this maroon metallic. So you can see it right here. I don't have a side to side comparison, but trust me, it's darker. All right. So you got the sunset red metallic. So instead of it being a flat paint, this is the shiny version of the red metallic. And then you've got that silver quartz. I believe silver quartz was there last year. Okay. All right. I glanced over because I saw it, but Slim was saying he thought the Thunderstroke version of the Roadmaster would be gone this year. I don't think so, because there's a lot of people that really like that Thunderstroke. It's the Thunderstroke is one of those bikes, or is one of those platforms, one of the engines that people really enjoy. So I don't think the Thunderstroke's really going to go anywhere. But they did remove the 111. So, now it's just a 116. So there's that. Moving right along, on the Power Plus version, you're going to get the black metallic. All right. And look at this. You get that Cascade green. Now I've seen a Sport Chief in this color. Very interesting color. Okay. However, the only problem that I have with, colors like this, I think for Indian Motorcycle to do these colors, it's great. Especially if you're not into wearing like a lot of the Indian Motorcycle stuff. You don't have to worry about trying to find something that's going to match the bike. But if you're looking, unless you just like wearing black, all right. But if you're looking for something green to match it, now that could be changing for 26. I don't know. But Indian Motorcycle doesn't do a lot of green clothing for anything. Well, I've seen some like OD green, drab, olive drab type colors, but nothing that's going to match this. So really interesting color. Looks really good in the sunlight. But like I said, if you're trying to match Indian Motorcycle clothing with that, you're pretty much going to be wearing like black for whatever it is that you're doing. Of course, you've got the sunset red metallic and the silver quartz. I went through this already, right? Okay. So yeah. Now, when we're looking at the Dark Horse trim, this maroon, look at that. Oof. That looks sick. It looks way better than it does on the Limited with the Dark Horse version. Oh, man, that is nice. Oh, and that's the 108 version. And then you get that heavy metal. And then, of course, the black smoke. So they should add a color or two for the 112. and the power band doesn't matter what color. So you're getting that ghost white, beautiful color. You get the deep blue. All right, that's nice. You got the heavy metal, and then you got the maroon. So the maroon metallic, for me, that's the best looking color. I'm with you, Bike Life Commando. My maroon is straight fire. All right. So, we got to do the pursuit, man. Almost. All right, here we go. Pursuit. All right, now we're getting over here to the pursuit. Look, I don't have the pursuit anymore. I was on the pursuit and I switched up because I was kind of missing the Challenger. But as a touring bike, as a bike that's gonna, that you want to ride somewhere, there's not much else that you're gonna find in, definitely nothing in Indian Motorcycles lineup. That's, in my opinion, that's gonna ride better than the Pursuit. Now, some people might say the Thunderstroke Roadmaster would be the one. That's what it was previously. Now, I will say this: the Thunderstroke Roadmaster, if you're looking at the rear seat, there's a lot more rear seat room on that bike than there is on the Power Plus version of that bike. So you lose, I'm not sure how much space you lose, but you lose a little bit of space. And if you have a backrest and a passenger, you're going to notice that you're going to lose a little bit of space. So that's just one of those things to consider when you're looking at these bikes. But again, like I said, the Pursuit is really, 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 really good on the road. Now, I'm going to get to the comments here in a minute. I don't want to look because I'm going to get sidetracked. But we're going to check out some of these colors. So for the 108 Dark Horse, you're going to get the black smoke, heavy metal, and then that maroon metallic. For the limited 108, you get the sunset red metallic and that silver quartz. And then, of course, the black metallic. Those are going to all be shiny. That's the limited version. All right. So the Dark Horse with the 112, you're going to get, of course, the black smoke, get that heavy metal. So here's the thing, right? See, I forgot, man. I got to blow the screen up for you guys. When you're looking at this bike in the heavy metal, in person, I don't think the paint is broken up enough. And I'm not even a big fan of graphics per se. But usually the style of graphics is they put that black stripe here and then there's a black stripe down here. I think they should do something a little bit different with this paint, because when you're looking at that paint on that heavy metal, the paint, I mean, it looks really good, but it's just there, right? It needs a little something to bring it out. So I think that would be a good idea if they were to add some sort of graphic besides the standard, Indian motorcycle graphic that they have for these bikes. The maroon metallic looks really good. Those dark colors, the dark colors on a Dark Horse, actually, looking at this picture, it looks like they changed the levers to dark. So we're gonna get into that real quick. We're gonna go to the configurator. Let's see, build and price. Build a new ride. Because it appears as if you have black controls, and you do. Look at that. They put black controls on the Dark Horse. So now I got to change this. I got to go to Baggers, Challenger, Dark Horse with the 112. Yes, they made that change. Who was that was saying that earlier? That they had the blah, 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 I'm not sure. But they do have black levers on the Dark Horse bikes. Thank you, Indian Motorcycle. Thank you, Indian Motorcycle. All right. They have black levers on the Dark Horse bikes. I love it. Okay. That is fantastic. I mean, hey, between that, the black and gold and now the black levers, hey, we're winning. All right. And I'm still not getting a new bike. Okay. You guys can't, you couldn't see my face. Look, I'm still not getting a new bike. All right. And then I was covered up by the thing. Anyway, whatever. We're going to keep on rolling. Oh, man. All right. Touring, Roadmaster. We did the Pursuit, and then The Thunderstroke. Where's it at? Oh, I gotta go. I gotta explore the family. I see. All right, Power Plus, Roadmaster, Dark Horse, and then the Roadmaster Limited. We just for time's sake, we're just gonna get into this Dark Horse Roadmaster. Explore that. Oh well, you have the option to pick. Duh. So anyway, for the limited and the standard with the 116, you are just getting one color. You only have one color option there. On the power band, you also have one color option. Dark Horse. Look at this. They're only giving you guys one color option on these bikes, whether it's the standard or the power band version. The heavy metal smoke, that is nice as colors go. There used to be a Challenger that had this color on it. It was the base version of the Challenger that had something similar to this, and it looked really good. So I know that's going to look good. But you know, for the Thunderstroke Roadmasters, you know, they're giving you two color options, but I think that's to drive people more towards the Power Plus versions. So what does that mean for the Thunderstroke Roadmaster? Is it going to go? I think by them doing it this way, they have the option, you know, if once they look at the sales and say, okay, well, people are buying it, we'll keep it around. Or they can say people aren't buying it and then later down the road discontinue it. I think this is a safe way to go either way with that. If, you know, if I'm using my logical mind to wonder why they're going this route. Or it just could be, you know, going the same way that the Springfield is going, and they're just going to end up cycling those two colors. All right. So let's look here at the comments. Roadmaster will be gone this year. Yeah. So like I said just now, you know, they've limited down to two colors. So, you know, who knows? It may be going. Dark Horse all day. Absolutely. You know, that's my jam. Harley has a 26 road guide with similar turquoise and black. Okay. I did not, I kind of watched that video that they had going on yesterday or last night. But I didn't really get all of it because it wasn't, in at least from what I saw, it really wasn't about the bikes. It was more about like the company, which is fine, but they're supposed to be having theirs release later in the year or the beginning of next year. How long until the options are Thunderstroke 116? And that's what it is right now. Those are your options. There's no more 111. It's only Thunderstroke 116 or, oh, I see what you're saying. Do away with the 108. Oh man, I don't. That 108's a good engine. I could see them maybe using it somewhere else before they discontinued it. You know, stuff the 108 and the Chief. See what happens. But yeah, I you know, your guess is as good as mine if they're gonna keep the 108 or not. But they've gotten rid of the 112, so you know nothing's off the table here. Black smoke looks the best. Absolutely. Pinstripe will look good. I mean, it depends on what kind of pinstripe you're talking about. Because if you got pinstripes going and they're not matching direction or matching up, you know, longitudinally or vertically, then that would drive me up the freaking wall. So that's something I'd probably not get into. About time. I'm taking that was with the levers. Absolutely, it's about time. Better late than never. I had to get my wife's Dark Horse powder coated. Yeah. Well, my wife has the Elite, so you know hers were already done. But for me, I ended up buying a pair from Indian Motorcycle at the time, and when I bought them, they were kind of pricey, but they have since went down in price, and then now they're just included with the bikes. So you know, kudos to them for that. It's beautiful. Menu Pursuit has the slate gray that's very close to the grays. Menu Pursuit. Not sure. Oh, my Pursuit, not Menu. Yeah. That gray is a nice color as well. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go back in here now. We're kind of done with these. We're gonna look at the Elites, and So this Elite is a very good looking Elite. Okay. gorgeous, gorgeous bike. Especially when you're seeing it in person with the way that white, the color, the way that color is on there. I still think the 25 or 20, the 24 Elite is the best looking Elite, which is the one that my wife has. All right. Now, I'm not biased because that's the one she has, but we were not going to get that Elite until we saw what it looked like. And then she traded her Chieftain in for it. And this, like I said, this looks good. Very good looking bike. But I still think I like the darker colors that Indian Motorcycle does. All right. Just like this. This green. Oh, this green is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous green. Especially when you see it in the sunlight. It's just different. When you're running down the street and you see this dark green bike either flying by or, stop next to you. I mean, it's just a good looking bike. My goodness. Same thing with this. I think this version of Elites was a really good version of these Elites. And this blue, really good looking blue. I would get this. I would get this. If it wasn't going to be my main bike, I would get this, but just because I like the power and stuff of the Challenger. But yes, I like this. This is very, very nice. But I would make a few changes, like I said earlier, with the wheels. But so, like I was saying, when it comes to Elites, me and Mrs. Finesse talk about this all the time. I really enjoy that they started numbering the bikes. That was something that was really missing. But I think when you get the Elite, you shouldn't have any options to put on your bike. All right. It should come with every single option, whether it be unique hand grips. Cause I think the grips that they get, they're heated, but they still look, like the standard grips. Okay. So I wish they would do something different with that. The windshields, they should absolutely be the tinted flared windshields. You should get the adaptive headlights. You should get the upgraded footboards. But I don't like the footboards like the ones that on my wife's Challenger because they don't have the isolation pad on it. It's just the metal, which is fine. Which is fine. But once you get up to speed and you got that vibration, I think they could do something there. And I mean, I don't even know if they need to do an Elite every single year. Maybe they do Elite every other year just to give it a little more special to it. Said those heated grips are ugly and chunky looking. Well, the heated grips they're the same as they look exactly the same as the stock grips. They have the other heated grips, which are they're not heated. I'm sorry. They have these other grips that are a little bit chunkier. They're called there's something collection, limited collection or something like that. There's a name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head. Of course, we could just look here on the thing, but let's see here. Hands, grips. These here, select. So they have these here, but these are not heated. Okay. So there should definitely be a version of these that are heated, so that, you'd have something else on your bike versus what everybody else is bike riding. And then your Elite bike should come stock with the stage 2 cams and flash. I mean, I don't, maybe like on a Challenger. But when it comes to like the Elite Roadmaster or the Pursuits, typically the people that are buying those bikes aren't, they're not into all that power and stuff. So you wouldn't want to exclude them from being able to get an Elite. But it should be, the Elite should be something to where, if you want to change it, you can, but you should have all available options. That's kind of what I think about it. Have all available options for the bike that Indian Motorcycle makes. And is that going to drive up the price? I mean, based on the prices that they have now, that would drive up the price. But I think from the jump, they should have started out that way. How do you fix that or correct that? I don't know. Okay. But, that's just going to be one of those things where time tells how that's going to happen, especially with Carolwood and how they're going to do things. It'll be very interesting to see. Yes, that was a message I meant to send before I finished. Okay. All right. So yeah. What else we got here? I think that was kind of it for this release. Now, just like in the past, I think we're just getting updates to the bikes and things. I'm sure there's probably going to be some updates to the ride command system. Also, I am going to be going through my press kit to make sure that, one, I didn't make any mistakes, and two, that there's nothing new that I missed. I will have that out for you guys. I'm not going to do a live video like this. I'll probably just put out a short or something. Or no, because I'm terrible at shorts. I'll put out a video. I'll put out a video for you guys to check out. But is anybody here in the chat? Are you guys looking at getting one of these bikes? If so, what bike are you looking at? Like, what do you think would get you off of what you're currently on? I think this is really the question. But I think that's going to be the question for any manufacturer, right? When they get a new year, you're looking at those people that probably have like a 2020 to 2022, and they're looking to switch up. Hey, what's going on, Bass? No problem, no problem. Hey, you can always rewind and check out what you missed out. But I appreciate you coming through. But yeah, I think that's really the true measure of, if you're on the right track. If you've got people either adding to, switching up, or trading in older models to get some of these new models, I think that's really going to be the measure of how you're doing in the ecosystem. I just explained like every sales situation, but me personally, just the safety systems alone on the new Power Plus versions, that to me is just hands down one of the best things that any of these bikes have. And then just a little bit of a recap. We had started off talking about how I think it'd probably be better to slim down the options as far as the Scout goes. Like I said, I've spoken with a lot of people. I don't want to name any names, but I also spoke with the wife about this. We talk about stuff often as far as, with the motorcycles and things. And, we're of the same mind as, you have your core models. And then after that, you just have accessories to what you want to put on the bike or not put on the bike. Or you can buy a package that comes with your bike, something like that. But just to keep the Scout models kind of, slimmed down to where, you're not trying to figure out what Scout you have and you're naming off all of this stuff. Because usually if I ask people what they ride, they say I ride an Indian Scout or a Scout rather. And then, it's a Scout, a Challenger, a Pursuit. It's not all of the stuff. So, I think some research could be done in that part. All right. So that is going to do it for today. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you are, thank you very much. If you are one of the premier members of the channel, I really do appreciate it. And as we move along with this process, like I said, the perks and things for the premier members are going to be going up. Also be on the lookout for not Biketoberfest, for Daytona Bike Week. I will be working with the local IMRG chapter down there in Daytona. They're doing great things down there with those rides for Daytona Bike Week. I want to say there's going to be a ride every day or every other day, something like that. They're going to have long rides and short rides. So if you don't have a lot of time, you could pop in for the short ride or you can get on the long ride. They usually have somebody from corporate there. They have one of the sponsors like Carrie Hart. Oh my goodness. I'm going to Forever Rad. And there's another one that I I cannot think of the name. My goodness. But anyways, it's always a good time down there. All right. So I've drugged this out long enough. I got dinner here waiting for me. Hey, so you know how we do it, man. Ride every day. And most importantly, make sure you're enjoying it. Peace.